Park Do-hyun was tired. He had been flying his old ship through empty space for 3 days. The stars outside his window were cold and silent. He was alone, and he liked it that way. His ship was called the Quiet Way. It was small and ugly, but it worked. He carried medicine and supplies to small colonies that nobody cared about. It was simple work, safe work. No one shot at him anymore. The war had ended 5 years ago. Do-hyun had been a medic. He had saved many lives. He had also watched many people die. Now he just wanted peace. His scanner made a sound. A soft beep. Then another. Do-hyun looked at the screen. There was a signal. A distress call. Someone was in trouble. He should ignore it. This part of space was dangerous. Pirates and slavers lived here. The signal could be a trap, but the signal was weak. Desperate. Real. Do-hyun closed his eyes. He thought about flying away. He thought about being safe. Then he changed course toward the signal dot. It took 2 hours to find the ship. When he saw it, his heart sank. The ship was beautiful, silver and white, with elegant curves. Vellani design. Only royalty could afford such a ship. But now it was broken. Holes covered its body. Fire had burned through its wings. It drifted in the darkness like a dead animal. Do-hyun scanned for life signs. Nothing. Nothing. Then, very faint, one signal. One person still alive. He brought his ship close and connected to the damaged vessel. The airlock door opened with a hiss. Do-hyun stepped inside with a flashlight and a medical bag. The smell hit him first. Death. He had known this smell in the war. He did not like remembering it. Bodies lay in the corridors. Vellani soldiers, their silver skin now gray. They had fought hard. Burn marks on the walls showed where weapons had fired. But they had lost. Do-hyun moved carefully. He checked each room. Empty. Empty. More dead dot than he found a sealed door. The control panel was destroyed, but power still flowed inside. Someone had locked themselves in. He worked on the door for 10 minutes. His hands were steady. They always were when people needed help. Finally, the door slid open. Inside was a small room. Emergency lights glowed red, and in the corner sat a girl. She was young, maybe 15 or 16 years old. Her skin was silver like moonlight. Her eyes were the color of purple flowers. She was Vellani. And from the clothes she wore, the jewelry on her neck, Do-hyun knew she was important. Very important. She held a small blade in her shaking hands. Her body was hurt. Blood, darker than human blood, covered her arm. Do-hyun raised his hand slowly. He did not want to scare her. The girl looked at him. She saw a human. Rough face, tired eyes, old scars on his skin. Not one of the attackers. Not Vellani either. Something else. She tried to speak. Her voice was weak. "Please," she whispered. Then her eyes closed and she fell. Do-hyun caught her before she hit the ground. He checked her wounds. Bad, but not deadly. She needed care. She needed rest. She needed to get out of here. He wrapped her arm and lifted her gently. She weighed almost nothing. Her silver hair fell across his shoulder as he carried her through the dead ship. Past the bodies of those who had protected her dot back on his ship, he put her on the only bed. His bed. He would sleep on the floor. He had done that before. He cleaned her wounds carefully, applied medicine, attached monitors to check her heart. The Vellani were different from humans, but not too different. He had learned about them during the war. They could be saved the same way. As he worked, her eyes opened for just a moment. Purple eyes looked up at his face. Do-hyun expected her to scream. He was a stranger, an alien. His face was not kind or gentle. It was the face of a man who had seen too much. But she did not scream. She just watched him. Her eyes were calm, peaceful. Then sleep took her again. Do-hyun sat back and let out a long breath. His hands were shaking now. They always shook after the work was done. He walked to the control room and set the damaged Villani ship to destroy itself. No evidence, no trail. Then he started his engines and flew away fast. He did not know who attacked them. He did not know why. He only knew that someone wanted this girl dead. 3 hours later, his communication system lit up. A message was playing across all channels. A bounty. The Villani princess. Alive or dead. 1 million credits. The Marrow Reapers want her. Da-Hyun felt cold. The Marrow Reapers were the worst slavers in the galaxy. They took people and sold them. They had no mercy. And now they wanted the girl sleeping in his bed. 1 million credits. More money than he would see in 10 lifetimes. He looked back at her. She slept quietly, peacefully. She trusted him. She had said, please, and then trusted him to save her. Da-Hyun turned off the communication system. He did not need money. He did not need trouble, but he could not give her to those monsters. He set a new course, away from known space, away from the Reapers, away from everyone. The quiet way jumped into deep space and vanished, and behind them, the hunters began to move. The girl woke on the second day. Da-Hyun was cooking simple food when he heard movement behind him. He turned and saw her sitting up in the bed. Her purple eyes looked around the small ship. Confusion, fear, memory. Then the fear came fully. Her breathing became fast. Her hands grabbed the blanket tight. Where am I? She asked. Her voice was small. My ship, Da-Hyun said. He kept his voice calm. You are safe. The soldiers. My guardian. The attack. Her eyes filled with tears. They're all dead. Da-Hyun said nothing. There was nothing good to say. The girl started to cry. Deep, broken sobs that shook her whole body. She remembered everything now. The screams. The fire. Her guardian pushing her into the safe room. The sounds of fighting. Then silence. Da-Hyun did not know what to do. He was not good with crying. He was not good with people at all. But he could not leave her alone. He brought her water and food. He sat on a box across the room. He waited. After a long time, her crying stopped. She drank the water slowly. Who are you? She asked. Da-Hyun. I am a cargo pilot. A human. Yes. She looked at him carefully. Humans were not common in this part of space. Her people, the Villani, did not think much of them. Humans were weak. Short lives. No special powers. Just small, stubborn creatures on a small planet far away. Why did you save me? She asked. Da-Hyun thought about the question. You were dying. That is not a reason. Many people would not stop. Many people would take the bounty on me. There is a bounty? There must be. The Marrow Reapers attacked us. They want me alive. Or dead. They do not care which. Da-Hyun nodded slowly. He did not tell her he already knew about the bounty. He did not tell her it was now 1 million credits. I do not want the bounty, he said simply. Then what do you want? Nothing. The girl stared at him. She did not believe him. In her world, everyone wanted something. Power, money, favor. No one did anything for free. But this human just sat there, asking nothing, expecting nothing. It made no sense to her. My name is Hana, she said finally. Princess Hana of the Villani Empire. I know. You know, and yet you saved me anyway? Da-Hyun almost smiled. Princesses can die too. Same as anyone else. Over the next few days, they settled into a strange routine. Da-Hyun flew the ship and checked the scanners. Hana followed him around, asking questions. She asked about the ship. She asked about humans. She asked about his life. Da-Hyun gave short answers. He was not used to talking, but Hana did not give up. She was curious. and talking helped her not think about the dead. "You were a soldier," she said one day. It was not a question. "A medic. I healed people. But you fought too. I can see it in your eyes." DaughterHFY was quiet for a long moment. Sometimes healing is not enough. Sometimes you have to fight so you can heal. Hannah thought about this. "My guardian." Her name was Minji. "She fought for me. She told me to run while she stayed behind." Her voice broke. "She died for me. She loved you. I was not worth it. I am just a princess. I have never done anything. I have never saved anyone." "You are worth it," DaughterHFY said firmly. She believed that. Do not make her wrong. Hannah looked at him with wet eyes. This strange, rough human. He said so little. But when he spoke, he meant every word. That night, DaughterHFY could not sleep. He sat in the pilot's seat, watching the stars. The ship flew on automatic through empty space. His old friend Taiwan had sent him a warning. The bounty on Hannah had gone up. 2 million now. And worse, the Villani Empire thought humans had taken her. They were angry. They were searching. Everyone was hunting them now. The slavers wanted to sell her. The Empire wanted to save her, but would kill DaughterHFY if they found him. There was nowhere safe to go. He heard soft footsteps. Hannah came and sat in the other chair. "You cannot sleep either," she said. "Bad dreams." "Me too." They sat in silence, watching the stars together. "Can I ask you something?" Hannah said. "Yes." "In the war, did you lose people you tried to save?" DaughterHFY's hands tightened on his knees. "Yes." "Do you remember them?" "Every one." "Does it hurt?" "Every day." Hannah was quiet for a moment. Then she asked, "How do you keep going?" DaughterHFY thought about this for a long time. How did he keep going? Some days he did not know himself. The memories were heavy. The faces of the dead visited him in his sleep. "You wake up," he said finally. "That is all. You wake up, and you try again. The nightmares do not stop. But you learn to wake up anyway." Hannah nodded slowly. It was not a happy answer, but it was true. And right now, she needed truth. "Thank you," she whispered. "For what?" "For not lying to me." Everyone at the palace always lied. They said everything would be fine. Nothing bad would happen. They were wrong. "I do not like lying," DaughterHFY said. "The truth is hard. But lies are harder in the end." Hannah smiled for the first time since he found her. It was a small smile, sad and tired. But it was real. The alarm went off. DaughterHFY jumped to the controls. On the scanner, a ship was coming. Fast. Too fast. "They found us," he said. He pushed the engines hard. The quiet way shook and groaned. It was old. It was not made for running. The enemy ship was getting closer. Weapons started firing. The first shots missed. The second shots hit their shields. "Hold on," DaughterHFY said. He flew like he had never flown before. Through asteroid fields. Around dead moons. Into dust clouds that could hide them. But the enemy was better. Faster. Smarter. A heavy blast hit them from behind. The ship screamed. Alarms flashed red everywhere. They were falling. Falling toward a gray moon below. "We are going to crash," DaughterHFY said calmly. "Get in the safe seat. Strap in. Do not move." Hannah ran to the seat. Her hands were shaking. She was scared. But she did what he said. DaughterHFY held the controls with both hands. He aimed for a flat area near some old ruins. If he could just slow down enough, they might live. The ground came up fast. So fast. "Close your eyes," DaughterHFY said. Then everything went black. DaughterHFY woke to pain. His head was bleeding. His left arm hurt badly. The ship was broken around him. Smoke filled the air. Warning lights flashed, but most of them were dead. Hannah. Where was Hannah? He pulled himself up and stumbled to the safe seat. She was there, still strapped in, unconscious but breathing. The seat had protected her. She would live. Do-hyun allowed himself one moment of relief. Then he got to work. The ship was finished. It would never fly again. But some systems still worked. Life support was damaged, but running. They had air for maybe 12 hours. Outside the window, he could see a gray wasteland. Old ruins stood in the distance. The moon was dead. No plants, no water, just rocks and dust, and somewhere above them, the enemy was landing. He checked the scanner. It still worked, barely. 3 ships were coming down. Maybe 20 soldiers. And something else. Something that made his blood cold. A tracker. Trackers were monsters. Half machine, half something else. They hunted people for money. They never stopped. They never failed. In the war, Do-hyun had seen what they could do. He had nightmares about them still. He had maybe 1 hour before they arrived. 1 hour to make a plan. Do-hyun looked around the broken ship. He gathered everything he could use. A rifle with 30 shots. 2 small bombs. A knife. Medical supplies. And his old combat armor, dented and worn. It was not enough. Not even close. Hannah woke while he was preparing. She saw him putting on armor. She saw the weapons. "What are you doing?" she asked. Her voice was still weak. "They are coming. I need to stop them. You cannot fight them alone. There are too many." "I know." Hannah's eyes went wide. "Then why?" Do-hyun stopped and looked at her. This young princess. Silver skin, purple eyes. So far from home. So scared. "The medical room is the strongest part of the ship," he said calmly. "I sealed the air system. You will have 12 hours. I put a beacon inside. Villani signal. Your people will come. And you? I will give you time." Hannah stood up fast. Too fast. She almost fell. "No, I will not let you die for me. You do not get to choose. I am a princess. I command you to stay." Do-hyun almost laughed. Almost. "I am not your soldier. I am just a man. And I am making my own choice." Tears ran down Hannah's face. "Why? Why do you care? I am nothing to you. We are not even the same species." Do-hyun walked to her. He put his rough hand on her shoulder. His touch was gentle, careful. "When I found you," he said, "you looked at me. You were scared and hurt. But you said one word. Please. Just that. Please." He paused. "Nobody asked me for help in a long time. I forgot what it felt like. That is not a reason to die. Maybe not. But it is enough for me." He walked to the door. Behind him, Hannah was crying. "They will tell stories about you," she said. "I will make sure of it. The human who saved the princess." Do-hyun stopped at the door. He did not turn around. "Tell them I was tired," he said. "Tell them I was nobody special. Tell them I was just a man who made a choice." The door closed behind him. Outside, the air was thin and cold. Do-hyun could not breathe well. His helmet helped, but not much. He had maybe 3 hours before the bad air killed him. But he did not plan to live that long. He moved into the ruins. Old buildings. Stone walls. Good for hiding. Good for fighting. The enemy came in a line. 20 soldiers in black armor. The Marrow Reapers, slavers. Behind them walked a tracker. Tall and thin. Metal covered half its body. One eye was red and glowing. They spread out to search. They thought this would be easy. One human. One princess. Simple job. They were wrong. Do-hyun let the first 3 pass. Then he attacked. His knife found the first one's throat. quick and silent. The body fell. He took the dead man's weapon and moved. 2 more shots. 2 more down. Now they knew he was here. Find him. Someone shouted. 1 human. Just kill him. But DaughterHFY was already gone. He moved through the ruins like a ghost. Years of war had taught him this. How to hide. How to strike. How to disappear. Another soldier down. Then another. He was bleeding from new wounds now. A shot had grazed his side. But he kept moving. The soldiers were scared. They did not understand. How could 1 human do this? Humans were weak. Humans were nothing. But DaughterHFY was not nothing. He was a medic who had walked through fire to save his patients. He was a soldier who had killed to protect the wounded. He was a man with nothing to lose. 10 soldiers left. Then 8. Then 5. DaughterHFY was hurt badly now. His left arm did not work anymore. Blood covered his face. Every breath was pain, but Hannah was safe. The beacon was working. Help would come. He just had to hold on a little longer. The tracker found him in a collapsed building. DaughterHFY could not run anymore. His legs would not move. The tracker looked at him with its red eye. It tilted its metal head like a curious animal. You killed 15 of my soldiers, it said. Its voice was like breaking glass. 1 human? Remarkable. DaughterHFY laughed. Blood came out with the laugh. Not bad for a cargo pilot. Why do you fight? The girl is not your species. Not your family. Not your responsibility. She asked for help. That is not an answer. You would not understand. The tracker stepped closer. Explain it to me. I want to understand. DaughterHFY looked at this monster. This machine made for killing. It truly did not understand. It could not. Kindness made no sense to it. Sacrifice was just a strange calculation. Humans are weak, DaughterHFY said slowly. We die easy. We are small. We have short lives. We have no special powers. He coughed blood. But we can choose. We can choose to be more than what we are. We can choose to care about strangers. We can choose to fight for someone else's child like they were our own. The tracker stared at him, processing, calculating. This is inefficient, it decided. This is illogical. Yeah, DaughterHFY agreed. He reached into his pocket. His fingers found the button. But it is human. He pressed the button. The bomb had been hidden in the wall behind him. Old trick from the war. The tracker saw the blast too late. The building came down on both of them. In the crashed ship. Hannah felt the ground shake. She heard the explosion. She screamed. And silence. Far away, in the cold of space. Valani warships picked up her beacon. The Queen's fleet changed course. Help was coming. But for Park Do-hyun, lying broken under the stones, time was running out. The sky turned silver. Hannah saw it through the small window of the medical room. Ships. Dozens of them. Beautiful Valani warships falling through the clouds like rain. The royal symbol shone on their sides. Her mother had come. Soldiers landed around the crashed ship. They cut through the doors with bright tools. Light poured in. Fresh air. A woman in white armor stepped through first. Captain Jisoo, leader of the Royal Guard. Her face was hard. Her eyes were searching. Princess Hannah. She called. Here. Hannah's voice was weak but loud enough. I am here. Jisoo found her and stopped. Relief washed over her face. Then confusion. She looked at the sealed medical room. The careful preparation. The beacon that had saved them. Who did this? Jisoo asked. Who protected you? A human, Hannah said. His name is Park Do-hyun. He saved me. Jisoo's face changed. Darker. Suspicious. A human? Yes. He carried me from the wreck. He healed my wounds. Hana stopped. She looked outside. The ruins. The explosion she had heard. He went out there. To fight them. To give me time. The Marrow Reapers? 20 of them. And a tracker. Jisu's soldiers looked at each other. 20 Reapers. A tracker. And one human went to fight them alone? Impossible, one soldier said, but Hana was already moving. She pushed past them. She ran outside, even though her body hurt. She had to know. She had to see. Princes, wait! Jisu called. Hana did not wait. The ruins told the story. Bodies everywhere. Marrow Reapers lying dead among the stones. One here, 2 there. More and more as she walked. They had been killed with knives. With guns. With bare hands in some places. 15 bodies. One human had killed 15 of them. The soldiers followed Hana. They stopped talking. They stopped doubting. The evidence was everywhere. At the end of the trail. They found the collapsed building. Stones and metal piled high. And under the stones, 2 shapes. One was the tracker. Its red eye was dark. A metal spike had gone through its chest. The monster was dead. Next to it lay a human man. Broken. Bleeding. Half buried. But alive? Just barely. Get him out, Hana said. Her voice was different now. Strong. Commanding. Get him out now. The soldiers moved fast. They lifted the stones carefully. Medical teams arrived. They started working on Do-yoon right there in the dirt. Jisu stood next to Hana. Princess, we should take you to the main ship. Your mother is waiting. I will not leave him. He is just a human. He may not survive. You should not see. He is not just a human. Hana's purple eyes burned with something new. Something hard. He is the man who saved my life. He fought 20 killers and a tracker by himself. He is worth more than everyone in this army. Jisu stepped back. She had known the princess since she was a baby. Sweet, gentle, quiet. This was someone different. The medical team stabilized Do-yoon. They put him on a floating bed. His face was covered in blood. His body was broken in many places. But his heart was still beating. Take him to the palace ship, Hana ordered. The best doctors. The best medicine. Everything. Princess, the queen must approve. My mother will approve. Trust me. They flew up to the great palace ship. It was beautiful. Silver and gold, a floating city in space. But Hana did not care about beauty. She only cared about the broken man on the stretcher. Queen Yuna waited in the throne room. She was tall. Silver skin like the moon. Eyes like purple stars. Her face showed no emotion. Queens did not show emotion. But when Hana walked through the door, everything changed. Yuna ran to her daughter. She held her tight. The cold queen became just a mother. I thought I lost you, Yuna whispered. When we heard about the attack, I thought she could not finish. I am safe, mother, Hana said. Because of him. Yuna looked up. She saw soldiers carrying a stretcher. On it lay a human, small, weak, broken, more dead than alive. Who is this? She asked. Her voice was cold again. Careful. Hana stepped back from her mother. She looked at Do-yoon with tears in her eyes. He saved me, mother. The words hung in the air. A human cargo pilot, Hana continued. He found our destroyed ship. Everyone was dead. But he searched anyway. He found me and carried me out. He treated my wounds with his own medicine. He took me to his ship and ran. Yuna listened. Her face gave nothing away. The Marrow Reapers chased us. They shot us down on that moon. 20 soldiers and a tracker came for me. Hana's voice shook. Do you know what he did, mother? He sealed me in a safe room. He turned on a beacon for you. Then he went outside to fight them, alone. Alone, Yuna repeated. 15 Reapers dead. The tracker dead. One human with a rifle and a knife. Tears fell down Hana's silver cheeks. He did not ask for payment. He did not ask for reward. He did not even ask for thanks. He just saved me. The throne room was silent. Every god, every servant, every official, they all watched. Yuna walked slowly to the stretcher. She looked down at Do-hyun's ruined face. This small creature, this fragile human, he had no special power, no great strength, no army behind him, but he had done what her entire fleet could not. He had saved her daughter. Why? Yuna asked softly. Why would he do this? Hana came to stand beside her. I asked him that. When we were on his ship, I asked why he saved me. What did he say? He said I was dying. That was all. That was enough for him. Yuna closed her eyes. She had ruled for 40 years. She had seen wars. She had seen betrayals. She had seen greed in every form, but she had never seen this. A stranger who gave everything for nothing. A man who faced death for a child not his own. A tear fell down the queen's silver cheek. Then another. The guards looked away. They had never seen their queen cry. Not once, not ever. Yuna opened her eyes. Her voice rang through the hall. Take this man to the Royal Medical Center. The finest doctors in the Empire. Every medicine we have. Every technology. She paused. He will not die on my ship. I forbid it. The medical team rushed away with Do-hyun. Yuna turned to her daughter. She touched Hana's face gently. You have changed, she said. He taught me something, mother. What? Hana looked toward the door where Do-hyun had gone. Courage is not about being strong. It is about choosing to help even when you are weak. Even when you are scared. Even when it costs everything. Yuna pulled her daughter close again. Then perhaps, she whispered, humans deserve more respect than we ever gave them. In the medical center, machines worked on Do-hyun's broken body. Doctors used technology centuries ahead of human science. They rebuilt bones. They healed organs. They fought to keep his heart beating. And through the window, a young princess watched. She did not pray. Vellani did not have prayers, but she hoped. She hoped with everything she had. And somewhere in the darkness of his mind, Park Do-hyun kept breathing. 3 months passed. Do-hyun woke slowly. Everything was soft. The bed under him was softer than clouds. The light above him was gentle and warm. Small machines floated near his head, making quiet sounds. He tried to move. His body worked. No pain. That was strange. He looked at his left arm. It had been destroyed in the fight. Now it was perfect. Not even a scar. You are awake. Do-hyun turned his head. Princess Hana sat in a chair by the window. She was reading something, but now she put it down. Her silver face was smiling. How long? Do-hyun asked. His voice was rough. 3 months. You almost died 7 times. But our doctors are very good. Do-hyun sat up slowly. He looked around the room. Crystal walls. Floating lights. A view of purple clouds and distant mountains through the window. Where am I? The palace. My home. Hana stood and walked to his bed. Welcome to the Vellani homeworld, Park Do-hyun. Everything came back to him slowly. The fight. The tracker. The explosion. He had not expected to wake up. The Reapers? He asked. Dead. All of them. The rest of their group ran away when our fleet arrived. They will not bother us again. Good. He swung his legs off the bed. Then I should go. Hana laughed. Go where? Your ship is destroyed. You have no money. You are on a planet very far from human space. She sat on the edge of the bed. And my mother wants to see you. Your mother. The queen. Do-hyun was not sure he wanted to meet a queen. He was just a cargo pilot. A nobody. She is not scary, Hana said. Well, she is a little scary. But she likes you. She does not know me. She knows what you did. That is enough. Do-hyun stood carefully. His body felt strange. Too healthy. Too strong. Vellani medicine was amazing. I cannot meet a queen in sleeping clothes, he said. Hana grinned. I brought you something. She handed him a box. Inside was new clothing. Simple but elegant. Dark colors. Human style, but made with Vellani fabric. How did you know my size? He asked. The doctors measured everything while they fixed you. She walked to the door. Get dressed. I will wait outside. 20 minutes later, Do-hyun followed Hana through the palace. It was beautiful. Crystal spires. Floating gardens. Vellani people in fine clothes walking past. They all stopped to look at him. A human in the palace. Strange thought, but no one was unfriendly. Some even bowed their heads slightly. News had spread. Everyone knew the story now. The throne room was massive. The ceiling disappeared into light. The floor was smooth as glass. At the far end sat the queen on a throne of woven light. Queen Yuna looked at him as he walked closer. Her face was calm, powerful, but her eyes were kind. Do-hyun stopped at a respectful distance. He did not know how to bow to royalty. He just stood straight and waited. Pardon, Do-hyun, the queen said. Her voice filled the room like music. I have wanted to thank you for a long time. No thanks needed, Do-hyun said. I did what anyone would do. No. The queen shook her head slowly. That is not true. We have thought about this. What you did was not normal. It was extraordinary. She paused. My advisors want to give you titles, land, wealth. You could be rich. You could be powerful. Do-hyun felt uncomfortable. I do not want those things. I thought so. The queen smiled slightly. Then what do you want? Ask for anything. If it is in my power, I will give it. Do-hyun thought carefully. What did he want? He had never had much. A ship, a quiet life. Simple work. A ship, he said finally. Small, fast, something I can fly alone. And where would you go with this ship? The outer rim. That part of space is dangerous. People there need help. I could bring medicine. Save people who have no one else. The queen studied him. This man was strange. He had saved a princess. He could ask for anything. And he wanted to save strangers in the dark corners of space. The outer rim is full of pirates, she said. Slavers, killers. You would be in danger every day. I know. Why would you choose this? Do-hyun thought about it. The war. The people he had saved. The people he had lost. The empty years after. Carrying cargo to nowhere. Because it matters, he said simply. Helping people matters. It is the only thing that ever made sense to me. Yuna nodded slowly. Then she stood from her throne and walked down the steps to face him directly. My daughter has told me she wants to go with you. Do-hyun blinked. He looked at Hana. She stood nearby, her face determined. That is not a good idea, he said. It is dangerous. She is a princess. I know what I am, Hana said. I also know what I want to become. She stepped forward. When those soldiers attacked us, I hid. I was helpless. My guardian died for me because I could not protect myself. Her voice was steady, strong. You showed me something different. You were hurt. You were alone. You were going to die. But you fought anyway. Because it was right. She looked at her mother. I want to learn that. I want to become someone who helps others. Not someone who waits to be saved. The queen was quiet for a long moment. This was her only daughter, her heir, the future of the empire. But she looked at Hana's eyes and saw something new: fire, purpose, the look of someone who had found their path. Yuna turned back to Dohyun. She took his hands in hers, a queen holding the hands of a cargo pilot. Everyone in the room stopped breathing. "You gave me back my daughter," Yuna said softly. "Not just her life, her spirit, her courage. Among my people, such a debt can never be repaid. It can only be honored." She squeezed his hands. "So go, Park Dohyun. Take the ship we will build for you. Take my daughter. Teach her what you know." Her eyes were wet. "And wherever you fly, know this: you carry the gratitude of an empire. You will never be alone again." She released his hands and stepped back. Dohyun looked at Hana. She was smiling like the sun. "Are you sure about this?" he asked. "It will be hard, dangerous, nothing like palace life." "Good," she said. "I am tired of palace life." 1 month later, a new ship sat on the palace landing pad. Balani design, but modified for human hands. Fast, strong, beautiful. Dohyun walked around it slowly. He touched the hull with his fingers. It felt like a dream. "She needs a name," Hana said. She carried a small bag. Everything she was taking to her new life. Dohyun thought about it. Names mattered. His old ship had been the quiet way. Simple, lonely. This was different. "Second chance," he said. "Because that is what you gave me." Hana nodded. "And what you gave me." They boarded the ship together. Dohyun sat in the pilot's seat. Hana sat beside him, already studying the controls. "Ready?" he asked. "Ready." The ship lifted off. Below, the palace grew smaller. On a high balcony, Queen Yuna watched. Captain Jisoo stood beside her. "You let her go," Jisoo said. "I did. Why?" The queen watched the ship until it was just a bright point in the sky. "Because that man taught me something, Jisoo." "What?" Yuna thought of a broken human carrying her daughter through death, asking for nothing, giving everything. The measure of a species is not their strength. It is their kindness. It is what they do when no one is watching, what they give when they have nothing to gain. She turned from the balcony, and by that measure, perhaps humans are greater than we ever imagined. In space, the second chance jumped to faster than light. Dohyun pulled up the star map. Hundreds of signals blinked across the outer rim. Distress calls. Colonies in trouble. People who needed help. "Where are we going first?" Hana asked. Dohyun looked at the map. He looked at the young princess beside him. He thought about the long road ahead. "Everywhere," he said, and somewhere in the darkness of space, a new legend was beginning. The story of a human who saved a princess. Not for money. Not for power. Not for glory, just because she needed help, and that was enough.